That was
Wonderful, lovely.
less so now that I know that you destroyed the last VOD.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about all the big lore?
What the
Yeah.
hell happened with this? We're in the end game now.
Like,
What? Hi, how are you? I'm great. I wasn't listening to Martin because I was promoting us.
how your character feel, how you feel about your character feeling that. Go.
Kauliki's scared, but she's putting on a brave face for her friends, and she's pissed because she hates with a fiery passion everything that Jorov stands for. And I am intrigued how and when and if she is going to go down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. She does not want to see any of these idiots die in any capacity. But I think she would go down protecting them. No.
No, I won't. Also, please remember, I have a button with which I can break your your overlay. So just be aware of that. Fisher is probably he's always pretty calm, always pretty level-headed, but he's determined in this case. But he always acts and reasons with a sort of core belief that all of this is just a small part of some greater whole in which everything doesn't really matter. So I think he's determined. He wants to do the right thing, and he will try to do whatever it takes to stop Jorah, but he will just see how it goes, I think. He will just happily go along, see whatever life throws at him, and deal with it when it happens.
And incinerate people whenever he wants to.
No, not people, not people. Only zombies. Undead. Never people. Politics and the empire as a whole definitely doesn't interest Fisher. It's apart maybe from a general dislike of the empire, probably mostly due to how they acted when he first encountered them. Regarding manipulation and especially mind control, he is strongly opposed. I think at some point I talked to Kalike. I think it was in real time about a year ago or something, about the scene where Eric was being forced to wear a collar, which made him obedient to Ephraim at the time. And Fishar was voting
It
to
was
kill him
not
because,
a year ago, it was way more.
yeah, well, when I talked to you, it was a year
Mm.
ago, but the actual scene was 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, I know. But Fishar was, in that moment, was voting to kill Eric because in his mind that was less worse. That's not a word. Better than being forced to obey another creature. So in that mind, he has a strong distaste of whatever Europe's trying to accomplish. The Empire as a whole, they might redeem themselves, they might not. We'll see how it goes. That might be left to the end credits scene in which Fishar hopefully still lives, and where we decide what he's planning to do with the Empire.
Burn it to the ground.
Fishar would be a great king. Everybody gets to do what they want. Free animals for everyone.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly. Just let nature return to its rightful place in the world.
Everybody becomes a hermit.
Yeah, exactly. It's the,
Yeah.
objectively the correct way to live. Yeah, exactly. Well, I think Fishar strongly prefers the small hamlet style of living, like the town where he grew up next to. Like the small communities, small strong communities, is much preferred over large empires in this case.
You know, head honcho in planning and infrastructure. Yeah. 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 The death of the previous emperor kind of like threw him through a very immediate and heavy loop. I think it was kind of dissuaded by the fact that he found out that the emperor was a scion and all that heavy stuff. And then finding out that he wasn't that bad in all honesty. And then you have Jor-El revealing himself to be a scion, and then also the fact that he killed the emperor, who he was kind of like a better scion than Jor-El, definitely better in that case. So yeah, Quattle is probably on a no holds barred vendetta against Jor-El. Yeah, and that's yeah, because his thinking is that sure he was a scion, but he did some good. He may have done it in a bad way, like in some occasions, but overall general good. Does the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few? That sort of moral quandary is going through his head. Uh, so yeah, he's thinking Gorof's emperor is a no-go situation. Mm,
Only.
but yeah,
Yes. No, no. I was sort of off in my own little space, really.
which we still know barely anything about.
No, we hopefully will be good, yeah. Um,
Jesus.
well, probably also the process of having to get to Grelia, like, because it was the first time he'd really like left his sort of little area. So he'd always been relatively happy of kind of aloof, and so he was like sort of he was enjoying his life, but he wasn't in any kind of political way engaged. And so for him, like going through all the stuff has been sort of like a little process of like deciding what he thinks and deciding what he doesn't think. Um, and sort of reasoning that like what he likes about it is only sort of a piece of everything, and that like bigger stuff can be changed. Which for him, honestly, the stuff in Grelia was probably more formative with like, this has lots of problems, for everyone. And yeah. Oh, you never know. Any dwarf.
Weapons of mass destruction in District 2, you know, yeah.
No.
No, he was definitely the person that invented gunpowder.
Yes. But you know.
Oh, please.
At least I was involved in inventing gunpowder.
I think we saw a vision at some point. Well, you saw
Yeah.
a vision at some point, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
didn't.
So I guess for him, he's most thinking about like what is like the easiest or quickest way through this that gets everyone out on the other side not dead, like their normal plans. How do we deal with the crazy chaos and like, like convince people there can be something else, despite all the chaos going on. I feel like is his kind of like point of view. So he almost wants to like would almost rather fight the Empire like out here rather than like closer to his home, because he feels like that's like easier in a way, for him. Yeah. Probably the closest, like lawful good or like a bit of neutral good, but closest to like that sort of, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
No.
I've always seen Fishar as a chaotic good character. That was my vision from the start, and I hopefully have been able to bring over that sort of mindset of it.
Yeah. I feel that's like the general kind of bent of the party is kind of chaotic.
Yeah, and it's a
good.
bit in his mind. He is very moral and very good, but his morals and guidelines might not really align with those of the Empire, or those not really familiar with his way of thinking.
Yeah.
Oh,
Never
right.
did it. Never did it.
Yeah, I think I didn't do it.
Don't remember if I did.
I remember doing it, but I cannot remember the result for the life of me. I think it has. He's definitely a lot more chaotic than he was at the start. I wouldn't call it like as probably chaotic good as opposed to like a lawful neutral sort of thing that I envisioned. So yeah, I don't know. I can't remember the alignments. I've never felt.
I think Fishar has stuck pretty close to his chaotic good. What I thought of him. Don't think he has changed that
I
much in his
wanted
personality.
I wanted Kaoliki to be lawful good, or lawful neutral at least. Yeah, she's a chaotic gremlin.
Mm,
Chaotic neutral, I'd say, or
Yeah.
chaotic
Oh.
crazy.
Uh,
Yeah.
chaotic neutral or true neutral, maybe. Yeah, I
Mm.
think so as well.
Probably.
Mm.
Hey, Bob! What are we gonna do, Eric?
I think Kaliki would slowly drift towards the dark side if nothing changes.
Okay. Mm.
Hmm.
Lionheart or something similar. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Court of a public opinion, we're screwed currently. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is the apparent wishes of Jason to continue such a plan.
Yes.
Uh,
Was my
however,
thoughts.
I think even though it may be a little bit metagamey, Quattle's gonna try and patch in to Vishar using a sending spell to try and ascertain what the situation is. Because currently he has no idea what's going on. Uh, yes.
No.
Yes.
Hmm. Hmm. Quattle. You know Quattle by now. It's a head of lettuce. Come on.
Yeah.
It has always been heads of lettuce.
Not my cabbages in order.
No. No. It's always been heads of lettuce. Good. Good. Yeah. So yeah, there will be a sending message sent. No.
No.
Yes.
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 I went out with him last night.
Dick move.
Mm. Ah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Ah.
Okay.
So just hire Eminem and then you're fine. You can basically read the whole book.
Yeah, you can level 9 sending whole album or something stupid. A whole song to your enemies. Okay, well, first of all, he's going to get somewhere private before he does this, because he knows that wild magic will occur when he does try to do it.
Oh no.
Yes, yes. So let's go and do the wild magic roll before I forget. Just to, da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Cool. Caster becomes entangled in an explosion of plant growth. Okay, yeah, I'll stick with that. So, like in like a back alley somewhere, Quattle is suddenly entangled in an explosion of plant growth. Before anything occurs, and he will send a session, a session,
Session.
a sending session to Vishar because it would.
You're lucky I got my
Uh,
normal mind while wild shaped and not mosquito mind.
It's gonna
Voila.
be a base level. Hang on, let me do my sorcery point usage of 6 sorcery points, so down to 3. Yes, okay.
Martin. People in Twitch are asking, could it be that Martin is not transmitting his microphone?
Oh no, fuck's sake.
Oh, great.
Wait,
Okay.
I'm gonna
Half
mute
screen.
you all and open Twitch on loud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Martin,
no.
you talk for a
Yeah,
second.
Yeah, no, they are right. I wasn't speaking. Technical difficulties.
Also,
Alright.
by people on Twitch, you mean the only viewer.
Close friend.
Okay.
Uh,
Standing spell from Quattle to
Be a many.
Mosquito Shar. As
Okay.
we are changing the rule for sending.
hang on, let me get a.
30 seconds. Oh shit, I started.
I wanna. No, I'm gonna do this because I need to know how long I have.
30
da,
seconds
da, da.
for and 10 seconds extra for each spell slot.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Bishar, is everything going okay in there? The words of the incident has spread throughout the city, and they're getting very angry right now. Is there anything I can do? Please respond to this message. Oh, I don't need to send this. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. And he'll just end with that.
Ramble. 9th level spell slot wasted. 4 hours of just rambling.
So we cut from the now starting to get bustly streets of the marketplace of Nersandia. Squattly sitting head of lettuce over some barbecued. They didn't clean the grill, so it's full of grease. Bishar, you are now currently a mosquito in your wild shape. Last thing
Yes.
that happened, Gaba was storming out of the room angrily.
I'm right behind her.
Kaulik is following Gaba as they are going out. A council member of the younger ones came into the
Oh,
place,
yes.
and bureaucracy started happening again. Eric stood there for a minute or two, saying that he was planning on being lynched, and then Ephraim, I believe, was also still there, and then
Yes.
after a conversation, Eric and Ephraim left the room. As the council members continued, you stayed there as a mosquito to see if they were truly on your. And I said that they pretty much are talking bureaucracy, plans, bringing on the other council members that are missing, blah 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 blah. Politics. As all of that is going on, you receive that burst of electricity that hits you and all of those words come to you in a fraction of a second.
All right. Do we also get 30 seconds to respond?
Yes.
All right.
Wait, I do this one hand when I...
All right. 3, 2, 1. Gaba, Eric, and Kolika talked to the Council of Elders and some others. We seem to have convinced the council at least, but they're now currently debating how to convince the rest of the city, who are very much anti-us at the moment. Gaba has stormed off angrily due to their lack of understanding, I suppose. Kolika is following her. Eric has offered to allow the townspeople to lynch him voluntarily. So if you see that happening, don't try to interfere too much, but stand by to help him if needs be. I will be following
Poop!
Eric.
I will be poop.
I will be pooping.
I will be poop.
Poop, poop. Your call has been forwarded to a voicemail that has not been activated. Please insert 25
God.
cents to continue your call.
Martin, would you have said I'd have enough time for a short rest between
no.
all this?
No.
No?
No, we
No.
said that all of that conversation lasted like 10. No, well, you left earlier. All of that conversation lasted like 10 minutes, and there were maybe like another 5 minutes to get there. So there was like the urging matter of people starting to gather outside of the enclave, where Council of Elders normally holds their meetings. So it would be like half an hour later.
Okay, I need to do some sorcery point conversion then. 'Cause carry on this conversation a bit. I'll do a bunch of spell slots. I can't remember what the translations are though. What is it?
I don't do sorcery.
I can't remember. Font of Magic.
I have it. Wait.
Oh, look at that. We have another sorcerer in the party. How
Uh,
convenient.
2 for a first, 3 for a second.
Somewhere in here it is.
Alright. Okay, I will do a couple 4th level spell slots for a total of 12 sorcery points.
Okay.
So that'll bring me up to my maximum of 15.
4th level is 6 slots.
Yeah. Okay, so I've dumped 2 4th levels.
Mhm.
Bonk.
What are you doing?
In that
I am going to continue the conversation. With Vishar, so that will be another wild magic roll.
Okay.
Lovely.
Can't wait for this to be the target of the spell blinks out of existence one.
I am actually waiting for the target of the spell explodes in a fireball and you kill all of the council members.
Cool. I'm gonna use my new ability that I got from my level up.
How
So
convenient.
yeah, because I don't want that
convenient
happening.
level up is convenient.
Yeah. So this ability allows me to modify my roll by either a plus or -1 to
Oh,
do
and
like
you can spend a fate dice if you want to change that
To
to the
incre-
value of
Which
the fate
we
dice.
should be rolled.
Which we should roll the
Yes.
fate dice.
which we should roll. Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Which we should
Um,
fate roll dice.
Oh,
well,
crap.
that's just
Yes.
I missed my
That's
rolling trait.
our one. That's for us.
I don't know where I left my. Okay, my D6 is behind my goblet. Perfect. Hey, that's a 2. That's a dice for you. Hala, 3 dice for you.
3.
Bryn, 5 dice for me. David, dice for you and dice for you. So 4 for you guys, 1 for me. Thank you, Bryn. You are the only one that actually respects my authority.
What authority? What?
one's of fate. I don't know. It's not with Irish here.
My name is not Myuu.
So, are you going for the +1 or -1, or do you want to spend the fate dice?
I'm going for the +1,
Yeah.
which means the spell's duration is doubled if applicable.
Ah, fuck.
So this will bring it up to a
Ooh.
minute of speaking
Nice.
time. And that is one of my 5 uses for the day. To do that.
The uses are equal to your proficiency, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
We are at proficiency 5?
Yes.
Since
Level
when?
13, baby.
Oh, I need to adjust.
And you
I didn't because I'm using D&D Beyond,
none
the
of you
best
can
D&D
say
character
anything
tracking
about
tool in the world.
Foundry, please sponsor us. Hey,
So yeah, 1 minute of speaking time. Lovely.
Walkie talks.
Okay. 3,
2,
2,
1.
1, go. Okay, if Eric is gonna try and do that, should I if I were to intervene, is there anything specific that I should be intervening in? Is this like a rescue, or is this like a ruse sort of intervening that I should do? I have a couple options that I could do, but I would need, I don't know, about a couple hours if you can delay. If not, I can possibly get it all done within an hour. Other than that, I'll stand by and see if I can,
5,
if I need to rescue Eric.
3,
Just let me know.
1. Fisher, you get another shiver of electricity down your mosquito wings, and this one feels even larger than the one before.
Ooh, about twice as large. Before I start, Eric said they could beat him for 1 minute, right? If I remember correctly.
That was his plan.
Yeah, alright.
And you also know that the counselors were like, that is a barbaric act, that is not law, going on, rambling like. So, you don't know what's going on.
Intervening, I don't know. Eric promised them he would allow them to hit him for at least 1 minute. So if it extends beyond that, we might have to interfere. Also, we prefer if he didn't die, so that might be something to look out for. I don't think it's a very good idea to try and mislead or misguide the population, because then if they were to discover that, they would lose any further trust they might still have in us. And this is an act of Eric to try to regain some of that trust. So don't let him die, I would say. I don't think I can delay it because I'm not really in a position to speak to the council right now. But I will see what I can do. But don't hold your breath.
For the next 15 seconds, you hear sounds of a mosquito flying over your close to your ear.
Yes.
Okay.
You might just, in the final seconds, you might maybe not hear, still hear. Eric is being let outside right now.
You start hearing Quatul as this is coming on. In the last 15 seconds of like mosquito close to your ears, are like what? And then you start seeing on the street like, hey, like one beast walker comes running, younger guy, maybe dog-like, wagging his tail. Hey, there's something going on over at the Council of Elders. They apparently they are bringing out the guy that caused all of the chaos in the street. Come on, let's go. We could maybe throw like some lettuce at him. But I am going to eat my Leonard. Free your lettuce. Come on, let's go. My lettuce.
Oh, shit. Not gonna have enough time for Temple of the Gods. Okay. I have a feeling it's gonna be a.
I have a feeling somebody's killing Eric.
Mhm.
Which one was that meant to be?
I got a feeling
somebody's.
somebody's watching me.
Come on, I know that I sing rap, but
I get it.
bad.
Wow.
I was thinking of another song as well. Don't worry, Rick.
Wow.
What is Bottle doing right now?
In the
You
meantime,
see,
when DM is buffer, not DM, but David is buffering.
Mhm.
Let please,
Yeah.
let please Eric do this. Don't just. I know you are angry right now. I am too. Let's just stop and allow Eric do the thing. Eric will not die, and if anything happens, I can bamf all of us very fast to the ship. Okay? Everything will be good.
Gava stops for a
She
moment.
says while she's shaking and actively being slightly panicky.
Gava stops for a moment as you are walking behind her, and like you probably like bump your cat nose against her back, and she turns around to look at you, eyes red, like not only the white part, but also the iris seems to be glowing faintly, trying to get like red, but she just closes like her eyes with like a lot of strength, frowns, and then like her eyes are back to her normal color. I cannot be there. I cannot.
Oh, I know
be
you
there.
cannot.
I am going to the ship. I'm going to get the ship ready. Don't. There's going to be a lot more blood in this tree.
But also remember you were there when when we started killing people? We're still in the thing, right?
Yeah. You are
Okay.
like climbing the staircases of the underground
I'm-
hidden level of
I
the
am-
Buckley.
I am letting myself being pulled by her because I am holding her and I'm not moving my feet because I am trying to stop her. I'm not even going to roll. Nothing happens. I am like a fly on her shoulder. Okay, I understand, but remember, you were there when people died. So, people might recognize you as well. So, if at all possible, when you're going out to the city, do some magic shit and disappear. How about that?
I have my ways. Don't worry about it. But I am not being metaphorical. If I see somebody even touch one of Eric's hairs, blood will spill. And this is not a metaphor. This is not a threat. I'm being 100% honest right now. So I'm going.
I will not allow anyone of you to die.
Oh, no.
If anyone goes down,
Look, I know that Eric is strong. I know that Eric will be fine. He's a big boy. He knows how to take care of himself, even though I like to take care of him. I am not talking about Eric. I'm talking about myself. If I see any of you being harmed, I have this urge to kill whatever is harming you.
so if I'd smack you or Visha, you would want to kill me. Or if someone, is that how it works?
I don't really know. Just to be sure, don't slap him in the face in front of me. You can keep.
I won't. No, he's too pretty to be doing that. Don't worry.
Okay, if you think he is pretty, that's on you. I'm going to the ship.
Yeah, I'm going to just give her a little kiss on the cheek and let her go.
Yeah. mechanically. Talum has mentioned this
Yeah.
thing.
Frenzied something rage.
Toxic friendship.
Mm.
Any of his bonded allies receives damage, he enters a state of frenzy and has to kill whatever
See,
is
thank
damaging.
you very much.
Yep.
Gava, who uses just some of her abilities, is going to get the fuck out of here.
Mm.
Oh, do we need tails by effort today?
Hopefully shouldn't.
I don't think.
Good.
Okay. What's that?
Mhm. Mr. DM, I have questions.
Mrs. Player, I have answered.
Mrs.
I don't.
Okay, yeah, sure, I'll take it. Why not?
No, turtles do have gender.
Yes.
Uh,
What kind of
it.
question is that?
Well,
You mean snails?
I was thinking
Mhm.
of axolotls at the moment, and they are.
Or snails. Snails don't have
mhm.
Six.
sexes.
When it comes to gods, is there any like specific like deity that the Beast Walkers pay more attention to, or is it
No.
still Longoose?
As a matter of fact, the Beast Walkers are. Why don't you give me a history? You know a little bit of this for being a Beast Walker, but as you didn't grow up in Nersan.
Mm-hmm. Yes. History check. Da, da, da. That will be a 17.
Beast Walkers were prisoners of war that were experimented on. After they regained their free will, some of them tried to maintain the beliefs of the old system prior to the fracturing, which means Nersandia is the most polytheistic place on all of the empire. Some Beast Walkers worship Hirsches, some Beast Walkers worship Prilus, some Ambrosia, some Tiathea.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. That can be useful.
I'm just realizing that my spell safety seems to be wrong.
Okay, so they're not very Longus focused, you would say.
Not necessarily. Maybe Longus is popular amongst the youngest generation, the ones that are more
Okay.
the Council of Fangs going forward rather than the elderly. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, I don't.
Further to
Yeah,
that
my spell safety is wrong.
question, considering that, would they have more knowledge towards those specific deities and would recognize the like celestial sort of nature and stuff like that, or as more divinity as opposed to just regular people?
You don't know. You
Shit.
really have no way of knowing. Unless you do a census of all of the populace, you have no way of knowing.
Okay.
What are you trying to do instead of going
I'm
on the
trying
basic?
to figure out how effective me summoning a celestial would be. To try and like be all dietic and shit, and try and like sway the populace.
one way to find out. It's not going to be probably like everybody underneath and old Egypt worship the god king and stuff like that, but it could have an effect.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But that would probably be putting Eric in sort of like a second coming of Jesus position. Because,
Mm-hmm.
the uh, the divine has been gone ever since the fracturing.
Mm-hmm.
You all know that one of the reasons why the Emperor Lionheart was able to maintain control and theological control was because of like, his yearly parades of display of clerical powers. The only cleric, quote unquote,
Yep.
that still had powers in the world, or at least Longstaff.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna try and like do. Try and set up Eric as this some sort of possible messiah. As a backup plan to any backup plan. So good to know it could work.
How does this mob look like, by the way? Is there like an enormous crowd gathered in front of the city house or something?
Are you going out, or are you still staying where the councilmen?
No, I'm pretty much following Eric, so I'm following
Okay.
along.
Yeah, and I'm walking with Eric as well. So
Gotcha.
me.
So as
Yeah.
Eric
I am
is,
letting Eric pass me.
Eric walks past Kauliki, you don't see Gaba anymore. She's like Batman. I'm Gaba. You come out of like that invisible wall, illusory wall, into the sort of like very much old military facility turned political building. Long hallways, many offices, two stairways leading to a second floor. And you see there's like closed doors, and some of like the guards of the Fang Watch are patrolling and taking inside the place, kind of like looking outside of the windows. And when you come out by yourself, the Fang Watch get startled and turn around and look at you, kind of like readying their weapons. And then you hear from behind all of you, "At this man, do not raise thy weapons." You see Commander Paddington, the Pag Centaur, Pagentar, walking behind you and standing in front of Eric. Sharp, give me a perception check in your mosquito form to look through the windows and see what you can ascertain.
Luckily, perception is a wisdom-based skill. Otherwise, I would have to look up stats for mosquitoes. That's a 26.
26.
What does a passive 19 look like?
Passive 19. What the fuck?
I am broken.
in many ways. Okay. Passive 19. You can, from where you are standing, you can hear like the murmurs in the street, but doesn't really sound any different as if this was like a regular day with a door and a courtyard between you and an avenue. But
Give him his the 26.
if you look through the mirrors or get closer to the doors, you can see there's about maybe a dozen beast walkers in there. It hasn't been even an hour since the events in the streets happened. Bishar, you immediately would know that any family members of whoever died today wouldn't be notified Only until tomorrow. Later, you know, the act where they come, they bring you like the leather and stuff like that. It wouldn't be
Oh,
like,
yes.
oh hey,
Mhm.
your son died 20 minutes ago, sort of. So you get the feeling based on looking at the crowd that the people that are starting to amass outside the gate have a sort of like either walker-bys, people that were close by, or in the marketplace or the bazaars, or you
Mm.
start noticing some yes, you saw them when you guys were in Kerth. Uh, People kind of like town criers talking stands in the middle of busy streets. Some of them were reading out books of fiction. Some of them were talking news. Some of them were guiding people. As you see, a symbol of like a circle with a turns into a point of light, kind of like glowing in the middle. Don't remember exactly if I mentioned the name to you, Bishar, but if you ask questions around, you would know that these guys are the uh, Laughing Wisp Guild. Sort of like the Raging Fox Guild deals with combat, cleanup works, and mercenary work. These guys deal with information, town criers, news sort of stuff. So it's pretty much like news reporter and curious people in the surroundings that are amassing outside of the gates of the enclave.
Right. And it was a couple of dozen, you said, right? Or did I miss it?
Less than 20.
All right, fair enough.
The other thing that you notice
Mm.
that the gates think of it like the metallic sort of like fence and like very gothic like gate with overly detailed metal twirls is closed. When you all walk in, the gates were open and then they were closed shut. Remember that about 30 minutes ago, when everybody arrived to the enclave of the Council of Heritage, the building was empty, almost as if it had been vacated in like a moment, like some sort of evacuation.
What is Eric currently doing?
Eric is
Yes.
ahead of all of you, kind of like leading the group, and he stops and he's like looking down to Commander Paddington, as Paddington is at ease, men. Do not raise thy weapons. Any of you doing anything in this moment, or just waiting for Paddington?
I would have made my way into the crowd to try and get a look into the situation.
Yeah, you see the same thing, and you notice that once again, most of like 3 or 4 of those people with like the insignia of like the Laughing Wisp, and you see some of them have like uh, a quill that looks to be extremely ornate, and you feel like some sort of arcane magic into it, and runes. Uh, you see one of them has like a crystal and it's just like talking to it. We are reporting from outside the enclave of the Council of Elders as we are awaiting for
Wow.
news. And it's just talking into like that sort of crystal, and you see the crystal is surrounded by a metal casing, kind of like spiraling of metal with runes. Hard to see because it's covered by the hands, but you quote as somebody that has been the head honcho of a department would know the equipment that reporters would use. The quill copies the movements of the quill into a linked object in some other place, similar to the theory of entanglement.
Mhm.
And the crystal just is a sending stone.
Mhm. Is it? Are they sort of like using the crystal like screen monitors throughout the city, or is this currently a
No,
Very-
Martin said there were none.
yeah,
No,
you
I-
see like
Oh, there
large
weren't any.
broadcasting
Yeah.
crystals like you saw in Kurth, but you do see one of the members of the Laughing Wisp as this sort of like it's an arcane camp.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have a way of describing it. It's kind of like
Our camera.
you would know this Quattle. It's kind of like records an illusion of the moment and then uses a minor illusion to display it onto a surface.
Okay. So is it like doing that onto this big ass like screen, like in the
No,
like?
it's kind of
Oh.
like a photograph camera. There's no
Okay.
live broadcast video in here.
Okay.
So,
Real-time illusion transcriber
Mm-hmm.
or something. Give it a cool sound name.
Before we go out and present ourselves to the public, I will ask everyone that is actually officially in here with us,
Paddington.
and Paddington. I will not address Paddington. He is below me,
He's beneath
and
you.
it's not. It's
Goddamn peasant.
and it's not his call to make.
Wow.
It's not his call to make.
Paddington will remember this.
If Paddington will remember this, then Paddington is fucking metagaming. Shut up. I would ask, do I go full angel or do I go as me for now?
What would be the purpose?
I don't know. Persuasion, trying to persuade them, trying to
Yes.
intimidate them.
I am
We're trying
curious
to
about.
present.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Kaoliki is like, what the fuck is happening? Why do I hear Vishar in her mind?
Mosquitoes talking inside of your
I
ear.
mean, we are.
I can
Um,
actually talk now as a mosquito with the
yeah.
new rules, so I could if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But I'd probably use Mind Link instead.
w- we're presenting ourselves here in hopes of atoning. Do you think it would be better to atone in your mundane form or with the angelic presence? I mean, I know you want to, in some way, use the angelic presence to lead. So it may be that if you show that is more, I don't know, conducive to if this works, that'll be better for us in the future. If they see you with that. We really have to try and do as much to let people get out what they need to. If we are to make this, well, if we are to make it out of this better,
In that case, Kaoliki's halo will start glowing. It's like she starts for the first time ever. She has done that passively. Like it was linked to her emotions, it was linked to her intentions. But now she actively thinks about it, actively wills it to be magnificent, even more than just a fucking halo above a cat angel.
Cat angel. Okay. Can you give me a performance check?
Yes, I can. And I forgot that I am the one character without guidance.
Also, guidance wouldn't work as this is for like a prolonged time rather than.
Yeah, but but still I am a sorcerer with plus hundreds for charisma performance. You say? 23. And with that, I will do also.
Now,
I I can remember how Laika's eyes looked, probably, right?
Yeah, I would say that left a very lasting impression on you.
I would also either thaumaturgy or prestidigitation, no idea which one it is. One of them. Make my eyes glow in that same color, and her feet will not touch the ground for the next whatever time it is. She is flying.
Great. That's one thing for visuals. Remind me, how did you describe your flying? Flapping the wings or magically levitating without moving the wings, like an anime character?
The anime character would be way cooler right now, but no, I imagine her like very few strong flap.
Okay. Anything else? Paddington goes, well, that is certainly going to help. We cannot really help. It means our hands are tied by the own rules and laws that we have created to avoid favoring people. Despite us understanding and knowing the true feelings, I cannot guarantee that the general public will help. The family members and close people of the ones that gave their life valiantly to protect the city have not been notified yet. So you will only be dealing with those that are aware of the situation. It will be just passerbys, people in the marketplace, and I'm sure that there will be reporters. Anything that goes out of those doors will spread like wildfires in the Nersandian hills, which are very dry in this time of year.
It probably already does.
I prefer to know that my men are loyal and wouldn't say a word, but he looks to like all of the peace workers, and they are pretty much
They're all pointedly looking in another direction.
Pretty
Well, it
much.
wasn't me.
Yeah. but you know that you were surrounded by a good battalion of like maybe 30 beast walkers plus passerbys. I don't know what rumors are going out, so it might be a good idea to come out and speak openly. But be careful in the choice of your words, Eric. Anything that you say could be turned against you. I'm sure that the laughing wisp is in there. They love to twist the words. They love. I call them
Anything
just
you
like
say
yellow
can will
news.
be used against you.
Old terms, yes.
You have the right to remain silent.
All right.
Eric is just going to nod. He has his halberd. Jason is not here, so I'm leaving it up to you four. Do you think Eric would go out wielding his halberd?
Not holding it, not
No.
actively holding it.
Because the whole point was that he would let them do it to him. So I feel like, he wanted the
go-
punishment.
Yeah,
So,
he'd
like,
go out. No halberd.
He was a good slapping.
Mm.
He's second winding.
Oh, yes. He did make it very clear.
He was like, make fucking sure I'm second winded.
He's currently at 97 out of 156. So
I can. I can give him.
you guys,
He also had Hill Giant Rune activated while the lynching was happening.
Yes.
Whatever that means or does.
you, as I said, you are fairly certain that the public lynching won't happen right now in this.
Okay.
But who knows?
Can I assess the public opinion during all this? Is it really like we want blood, or is it like we want to know what's going on, or something between those two.
I don't know.
Are you going out, or are you still in there? The doors haven't been opened.
I was assuming that Eric was let out, and I was following him. But if you're still inside, then I'm still with the group.
Yeah. Once you guys give me the go ahead, two guards will open the doors of the enclave, and Eric will walk outside.
Is there?
This is kind of like the JRPG moment of there's like a moment that you cannot go back in the history. Do you want to save now? And this is the moment where, before proceeding, you go with your character to talk to all of your party members.
Is there like a sort of a podium or raised plateau outside where, I don't know, the mayor might address the people or something?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Remember, you can spend fate dice to change the outcome. But with the 25 looking outside, you saw that there was a statue of Krylus that has been destroyed, brought down, and in its place, like where the pedestal of where the statue of this large dragon surrounded by cliffs and magic used to stand, you now see like a large plaque that says what the statue was originally, and that sort of like a pedestal could be used as a platform. You don't know if it is the purpose or so. And Bishar, coming from like a small village without technology per se, wouldn't really know more of that. But probably somebody like Ephraim knows that there must be some sort of like a thaumaturgy or something to allow him to communicate his voice in a broader fashion of news. But you also know that Nersandia abhors arcane magic and arcanotech.
Oh, that's a good
Thaumaturgy
point.
is a clerical thing.
That's a very good point. I had forgotten about that one.
Clerics do not
Thaumaturgy is a-
exist.
But it's a clerical ability as well.
Yes, but it cannot be replicated. So in that case, I'm going to allow Ephraim to give me a history check to see how much he knows about Nersandia's
Yes.
political hits, pitches,
Yes.
rallies,
History.
rallies.
Can we just ask the pug?
Oh, you said that the pug is not important and he's beneath you.
Yeah. I mean,
walked
I would.
away.
I mean,
He walked
Ephraim
away.
would talk to
He's
me.
against the corner, patting, just kicking a
I-
table.
That was Hala. That wasn't Kauliki. Please do
Hmm.
separate the person talk from character talk,
No,
and the
he-
character talk from
you
character
offended.
talk.
Paddington is deeply offended with Cowlick.
Why?
I remember
this
He
until
doesn't
the
know
end of his
shit.
life. Probably. So what did you roll it from?
13.
You haven't
Yeah.
been to Nersandia. So knowing that they hate Arcanotech, you don't know if they would have any means to like spread a voice through all of the city or through a large area. And
Well, I mean, if he doesn't know, then he would go and talk to Pug, the guy.
Yes.
also now I am important.
This, Martin?
If there isn't, that's also fine. I just need somewhere where people might see somebody, like small
Yes.
distance.
Paddington
I
is
speak loud enough. It's fine for
Yes.
20 people.
right in front of you. So what do you say?
Sorry,
Oh,
I missed that.
where would be a good place to go for this? I mean, I know it's unusual, but like a big public place for speaking, I guess.
Normally we have a whole amphitheater down in the marketplace where all of the populace comes together. But given the immediate situation, normally these sort of news tend to be given out in front of a smaller crowd out here on the courtyard, and the news are then repeated throughout the city by the different town criers of Laughing With and other independent media sources, which are much more reliable and do not lie about political, and they are. Don't get me started.
Okay. So you, I mean, how soon do we do this?
As soon as you open
if you're
the door.
saying,
All of you will hear just Vishar talking out loud.
I see.
Are those other independent media sources
Who's there?
all present right now?
Who's there? And like
Are
you
they in
see,
the room?
all of the beast walkers pull out like swords and staffs and are just kind of like looking up. Be careful, there might be a witch among us.
I am no witch.
That is what a witch would say. Show yourself, arcane trickster. Dispel your invisibility.
Not yet. Momentarily. Please answer my question and I will. Are all other independent media sources also present currently outside?
Yes.
All right, very good.
You see, like
Vishar will.
he's trying
Oh.
to like look up the window.
So there's a little stool on the inside specifically for him to look out. Little
Opens
dog
the
flap or
curtain.
something. Yeah.
Looks kind of like
Oh,
when you are
yeah,
doing a
yeah.
play in theater and you open like the curtain to look and you just close and you see like a bunch of people.
I'm assuming there will be somewhere a mosquito can go out the building, like a
yeah.
crack or like a small slit in the door or something.
Yeah.
Oh, you're lying. That's great.
No, no, I'm not lying. I didn't
Yet.
say I would transfer back here. I want to transform back far outside.
Transform backwards on the other side of the window
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
just
yeah.
wave.
I was just speaking outside from outside. I was
I-
asking.
Don't know biologically how a mosquito sees the world. I don't know if it is like a fly that has like hundreds of eyes.
Ooh, I don't know as
So-
well.
Didn't we establish that anything that Vishar turns into, it's the animal body with a Vishar face on it?
No, we definitely did not establish that.
that is a
Absolutely
creature
not.
of hell.
We're not playing Call of Cthulhu. Also, I did. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I don't know if I should make you give me like a perception check to find the way out of the building, or if I just want to make you hit against the window 10 times without finding the way out.
Well, I just remembered that I am still able to use my class abilities, assuming that my animal form is capable of doing so. And one of those is the phasing ability, so I can just fly through the door if I wanted to.
Oh, it's the fucking worst mosquito of the world. There's no way
Yes.
of getting away from it. So yes.
So I will go outside.
As you go outside, Paddington is, reveal yourself, arcane trickster. No,
Oh.
no magic shall be allowed in here. Men, bring the dispelling potions. And you see like one guy goes
I'm
running
not
out.
thinking, yeah, whatever. you do you. But before I go outside, I will just mentally say to Eric, like, Eric, are you ready for whatever you want to do? Mentally.
I don't know. Whatever I make, I'll face it right down.
All right. Give me a couple of minutes, and I will go outside.
Oh, for an hour.
And I will fly, I'm assuming, above this little raised platform or something, somewhere where the people can all see me, the ones gathered in the town square. And I will transform back into my regular self.
This is like there is the building. There is a courtyard, maybe like a 50-feet courtyard, where a large statue used to be, and now there's like a platform. There is like the gates, metal gates, and outside those gates, there's the crowd.
Yes.
So you go into the platform.
Yes? Question mark?
So
Was that
you'll
the wrong
be
thing to do?
in between the building and the gates, and you want to transform back in there.
Yes.
So all of the people gathered outside would see you.
Yes.
Gotcha. Be back with you in a moment.
Oh, all right.
For the next 2 or 3 minutes, you see Paddington and his men come back running. They grab like flasks of water, kind of like potions, and start throwing and breaking it against the floor, kind of like putting salt everywhere. Some of them grab
You're wasting valuable materials.
He's not here anymore.
we need to find him. If there is a spy amongst us, we need to know. And like some of like his men open like a flask of water and start pouring it onto like their eyes, and you see their eyes glow red as if they are pouring like
Invisibility potions in
It's like a very sour potion, so pouring it in really
yeah,
hard.
like super reddish glowing guys, and they look around and clear, Commander. There's nobody here. They must have gotten away.
That's what we see. That's what they said.
Don't
They're
worry.
gone already.
We'll be ready. If they come back, we will see him. And keep those potions on your eyes. Yes, Commander. And you see one of the guys like ears start
Crying.
falling. Very well. Are you ready? Are you ready? You want to continue? There's no turning back after this point.
I was hoping to address the crowd before Eric actually came out of the building.
Yeah.
So I don't know which order you want to do it in.
No. I just want them to tell me, yes, we are going to open the door before I cut back to you.
Alright, fair enough.
So,
Wait.
okay, this is why.
Yes.
Come on, you two. You have the go no go. Launch this rocket ship.
You're gonna go first, or
Do it.
It's not decision paralysis. It's thinking, does Kauliki want to be cute or does Kauliki want to be practical?
So it's decision paralysis with extra steps.
Yeah.
Yes. It's weird because Eric is not here. Jason is not here. She would, Kauliki would grab, still flying. So this time, eye to eye with Eric, grab his hand, like this ginormous lion paw in her tiny kitten hand.
Yeah, we've never established. Does he have thumbs to hold onto a weapon?
Yes.
I'm assuming he's a
Most
lion man.
probably.
Best of both worlds.
Most probably. She'd be like
Don't let them kill you. Please. I need someone to tell me, to show what the world is like. You've promised.
Yes.
Exactly. So you don't let them die. You don't let them kill you. Because it's not in that case. It will not just be Gabba that has problems with keeping her talents to herself.
and I will just like mwah, cheek cheek, and with mwah healing pulse to him.
Are you spending your hit dice or his hit dice?
I'm not putting anyone through exhaustion. I am spending.
So
You said how hurt is he?
He's 1/3 of his life down.
Yeah. I can do more healing afterwards. So like you don't have to like
Plus my con, right?
Yes.
We never established I have a limit on how many I am spending in one go.
Hit dice is the limit.
Let me quickly find a lot of d6s.
maybe I do mine first because
Yeah, go. Yeah.
Let me find
can
a bunch
just-
of D6s. Grabs a bag full of only D6s.
Yeah. Also, mine has big
I'm-
bonus healing magic.
You know what? There's actually way.
It does
I
have
do.
a bag of only D6s.
Whoa.
Hello, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's nicely
I don't think,
organized.
yeah. I don't think we've seen them all together
Shut up.
before.
We noticed that. We saw that.
How many
Don't
more
pretend
of
it
those
didn't
you have?
happen.
And what?
How many more of those you have?
Of those?
Hmm.
Just this?
Hey, Rin.
Do your thing.
I'll start with 2 from the spell storing item, which is Cure Wounds. But I can do more. So the first one will be 12 healing,
Okay.
12 hit points. And then the second one will be 18 hit points.
Okay. He's almost full health.
Okay.
Almost full health?
With 2, yeah. I can do another. I mean, I have like 8 more of this.
Look at me, I'm 13 level, I have so much magic. Oh.
Look
For
at
one
me, I'm
spell.
13th level. I have 13 d6s that I could roll.
Yeah. I'll do. So I'll
Wow.
have 7 more after this, so I'll do one more.
Meanwhile, Rick is, look at me, I'm 13 level.
I have the heal spell.
Druid, yeah.
I also have to
13,
regenerate, and I have a lot of spell slots to cast Cure Wounds, which do
Yeah.
more in my story form.
This is why I don't
These
give you
3
magical
didn't cost
items.
any spell slots.
Also has access to regenerate and heal.
Anyway.
Has
13
access to
more.
teleport. We could literally bug off of here.
Okay, he's missing 9 hit points.
9? Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, you do.
With 1.
And he's back
Wow.
to full health. So
Way.
you hold his hand as he's
Yeah.
talking that. Meanwhile, Ephraim comes from the back, hits him on like the shin, and he's fully healed.
Yeah.
Eric goes to open the door. We cut to the courtyard as we see a crowd of about a dozen, maybe 17. A
Mhm.
baker's dozen. Just
Is that a
Getting-
baker's dozen?
Baker's dozen is 13.
no, isn't the baker's
Is it?
dozen like 18?
No, it's
Dozen-
13.
dozen and a
It's dozen is 12. Baker's dozen is 13.
Yeah.
Stupid bakers. Don't they
I-
know it's actually 12?
I don't know. English is
Kind.
English is a stupid
Mm.
language.
Yes, it is.
Um,
Because you
So-
get an extra one. Very nice.
Rin as the
Mm.
well, no, also David as the only 2 native English speakers. Shut the fuck up. So there's like less than 20 people around. You see over the last couple of minutes, some more are coming together. With your passive perception as a mosquito, you spot Quaddle amongst the crowd. Quaddle, you are coming with some people that go, "Oh, come on! They are going to say something about the explosion in the market. Oh, I heard that there was blood. Oh, I hope that my cousin is good. He works in the military. Oh." And just like people going around, gathering together. By the minute, the crowd is growing. Mosquito Shard.
I will transform back into regular Fisher. And wait a couple of seconds to allow them to notice me and actually see me and hope they pay attention.
Okay. Can you give me a performance check?
I can. And I will use a fate die. 2 fate dice for this.
Two by dice. Give me
Uh,
more.
I think that's the first time I actually used them, to be fair. 9. Performance, you said, right?
Yes.
27.
Okay.
What?
I rolled a 16. I rolled a total of 9 on 2 fate dice and I have a +2.
You turn, transform, and immediately you hear the crowd going, gasp, as
They actually say gasp. Multiple of them.
that's the way they do
Gasp,
it in their
gasp,
India. Gasp. As
Ooh.
all of the people turn around and some of them go, "He's a wizard! Arcane magic!" And
He's what?
like you see like the
Wizard.
like the people of like the laughing wisp, like all of their pens are ready to go and they go, "Magic! He came with true magic!" And they are just like looking at you.
People of Nezandia, please allow me to capture your attention for a couple of minutes, because I have something to say. You do not know me. You do not know most of my companions. And in return, we don't know you. We don't know your customs. We don't know your food, your shops, your schools. We don't know how you raise your children. But we do know your people. We know you through our companion, Eric, who's one of you, who grew up here. He has a house down there somewhere. I vaguely points towards the direction that Eric has been pointing to all this time. And I know that the one thing all of you stand for and value most of all is your freedom and your ability to make your own choices. Long ago, your people were created for a war to be able to use, to be exploited. You were used as slaves, killed, seen as expendable by the Empire. And through many years of bloodshed and hard work, you managed to win back your freedom, which was taken from you at birth. You cut out another piece for yourself in this world, built your city here, and are living your life as you should be. Now, this freedom is threatened by an elf of long ago named Joralf. You may have seen him. He has usurped the current king of the empire, the old king, I should say, and falsely claimed the throne for himself.
You
He's
say
planning
that,
to-
murmur starts going very loud. Like you notice the members of the Laughing Wisp are not surprised, but everybody else starts going, "Oh no, Emperor Lionheart! No, that must be a lion!" Like just murmuring around.
And has falsely claimed the throne for himself. Currently, he is amassing strength and is marching here with his allies, with an army, to try to revert your ways back to the old world. He's planning to reduce you back to what you once were, what he sees as your current right state, as slaves, as something you shouldn't be and aren't. Now, he will be sneaky about this, and some of his agents have probably already infiltrated the city. When me and my companions entered the city, this morning, I think, we got into a fight, and unfortunately, some of you were harmed and killed in the crossfire. We didn't mean this way, didn't meant for this to happen, and we are aware that public opinion of us is probably quite low currently. That being said, we have to stand together against this army to be able to hold your freedom. You need any ally you could get, and I'm pretty sure that we have, shown that we are quite capable in combat. We are willing to help if you will help, if you would allow us to. And to show that we mean you no harm, our friend, my friend, Eric, is willing to sacrifice himself in order to show to you that we are willing to help you and to show recompense for our actions. And I will gesture back to the door,
At
which
this moment, the
with
door opens.
hopefully perfect timing opens at that very moment.
And at this moment, the door opens. Eric is walking out, and you see, by this moment, there's maybe like 30, getting to the 50s, sort of like people outside of the gates, and as Eric is walking by,
Fucking nice speech.
you see that sort of like arcane camera, illusory sort of thing is just kind of like flashing lights come as both of you, and as Eric stands next to you, he just nods to you, Bishar, and says, "Waiting to."
You're welcome. Don't die.
He stands next to you, and you see maybe 10 or so Peace Walker guards, member of the Fangward, come and standing in between Eric and the crowd, kind of forming a cordon. That's not English. Kind of forming like a barricade.
Gordon is a word in English.
Cordon is-
Yes, yeah. Yes.
as Eric stands next to you, Bishar. My brethren, I stand before you as my ally, my friend, has said. We did not mean to bring danger to the streets of this noble bastion of peace and freedom. Yet, the trouble followed us. It might not have been what we wanted, but it is what we got. Despite our best efforts, some of our brethren were harmed in the process. Even if they had not been peace walkers, noble, free people like us, it would have still been grave offense to harm those that are not part of the fight. For that, I apologize. Place myself upon you. In a day's time, I shall offer myself and my weapon if anybody were to deem it worth to raise a hand against me in retaliation for what they might have lost. Be aware, my sorrow and my condolences stand with you. I hope that if taking your anger on me will be enough to quell the thirst for blood, it's my hope that that shall be good enough. But like the companion here mentioned, bigger threat looms over us. It's not an internal squabble, it's not a matter that can be solved with my blood being spilled. It's a threat, man, that threatens our way of life. Not only ours, but all of the Empire. Want it or not, we are now part of it. We might be the first ones on his wrathful eye, but be sure his plan go way beyond just our lands. He won't rest until all of the Empire, all of the last living society of our world is brought under his thumb. After you have claimed enough of my blood to feel satiated, me, my companions will march against him. We aim to rally other territories. We aim to bring the threat of the false Emperor Joralf, the Forgotten, back into oblivion. We want to protect Empire, not just because of our people, but because it is what's right to do. I should have rolled the dice before I actually did the speech, because I rolled crap.
Can
I give you advantage, Martin, don't worry.
Can I use my heroic inspiration to allow us both to succeed on whatever role we need for those speeches?
I'll allow it.
Can I twin spell prestidigitation around in the crowd to be that's right.
Oh, right.
At the same time that all of this is going and Eric finishes his speech that I just pulled out of my ass, and I hope that Jason is okay with what. Angel Kitty starts flying behind him. That is what is right, and the divine are with us. Ambrose is not forgotten. Prilus is not forgotten. The world might have gone to crap after the fracturing, but that does not make us beast. That is what makes us the walkers of the destroyed place. That is what makes us the beast walker. This time, we will be at the front, not machines of war, but as the bringers of freedom. Everybody,
Can
Yeah.
I subtly cast the
Spin.
dawn spell behind
Oh.
Eric
Okay.
and Kaliki?
Tell me, what does
What's
it look
that do?
like as you cast the spell and Kauliki comes flying, and all of this is already a success. You see people the murmur turn from doubtful to a little bit of fearful as Eric walks by, as chaos when Bishar drops the news of the demise of the previous emperor and the imminent threat of a dictatorship coming to bring back the rule of the old world. As Eric comes and gives this speech, he rallies some of the doubts, and people are starting to change. Some of them, especially not only the younger one, but also the more elderly, are kind of touched and moved by this sort of sensation of changing the image that was given to us. And then it brings on the fact of the divine as Angel Kitty comes flying from behind. What does it look like?
I'll put my small hand on his shoulder, yes, I approve of your talk. Some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
The pure theatrics.
Mhm. Yeah, it's not the
Although
Dawn's...
it's not theatrics for Kauliki. It's not a
Oh.
theatrics for Kauliki. She 100% agrees with him.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's-
it's not the Dawn spell, it's the Daylight spell, because the Dawn spell is the one that deals damage.
Ah.
I mean, daylight deals damage to vampires as well, so
Yeah, well, the other one deals
Are you a
4d10
vampire?
damage to the people in the area, so...
I'm not going to tell you that.
So yeah, it will be a point of daylight will emanate down from is it like an open topped area or is it like a roof?
No, it's like courtyard.
Okay, so yeah, a point, God knows, what's the range of the spell? Daylight.
60 feet of bright light.
60
really.
feet bright light and another 60
Yeah.
feet, I think.
Yeah, but it'll just from 100, it'll just emanate from a point 120 feet, or 100 feet up and behind them, but radiate outwards, and it'll kind of start with this sort of energy, these pinpricks of lightning, and then eventually it would just radiate into this soft amber glow as it just
Kind of like God
emanates. Yeah, behind and casting these awesome rays, and I will roll my wild magic
Oh,
table.
my fucking God. Please don't kill the crowd.
The caster explodes in a fireball, deal 8d40 damage to everybody around you.
It's D40.
Yeah. Advanced fireball.
Reverse fireball. 68.
Ooh. 86 probably. Isn't it d8s or d6?
86.
Oh,
No,
well.
it's 8d6s for basic fireball.
So, as Quote is going over the wild magic, I want you to understand the importance of this moment with Kaulik in particular, because it is not only Eric sedimenting himself as a leadership-inspiring sort of public figure. It is also a very clear hit to the theological belief of all empire, because these walkers were cursed people, machines of war, torn by arcane magic, forgotten by the gods, forgotten by the world, left in a land to rot. They built this city from the remains of the fire of the place that they became what they are now. And now they are having this sort of divine revelation sort of moment with Kauliki, who is a beast walker with wings. So it's pretty much a divine sort of moment where we are no longer
And I am also a young carbon copy of their leader, so.
pretty much. And there's daylight.
Yeah. Yeah. God rays. God rays. The God rays appear.
And there's daylight.
So yeah,
There
I'm
you go.
gonna.
Period.
Once again, I'm gonna have to do it, modify it again because I don't want surges to appear. So the target's bones are turned into gold, and the speed becomes 5 foot. And as there's no target, it's just nothing burger. But that is another Friends of Chaos gone.
You could argue that the target is everything within its radius.
Shut up.
Shush.
It's specific.
Shush.
Now it's just
I
that
mean, the
bones-
target of a
Gold
fireball
wings
would
would be kind of sexy.
It's that the
Yeah,
bones
you
turn into
wouldn't be able to
gold.
fly though.
So
Mhm.
the only bones that would actually show would be like the teeth. So it's kind of like that weird miracle where, oh, and the statue of the Virgin cried tears of blood, and then the lion man cut his teeth turn into gold, but with the daylight and the godlights and the angel behind him.
Probably would all die pretty soon because gold is very soft. They're not a suitable material to have bones made out of.
Oh no, and I'm pretty sure that you would die out of like infections.
Yeah,
Your
well,
immune
it-
system would
Like missile
go
poisoning.
it is a
crazy.
noble metal, so it's pretty
Yeah, it's
sterile.
normal.
But yeah, well, I don't think it can hold your own weight. Pure gold.
Regardless, it doesn't happen because there's no target.
Fair enough. It's a pretty brutal condition to gain for a chaos surge.
Yeah, target's bones are turned into gold. Their speed becomes 5 foot until the remove curse is applied.
You should have used it the one against your elf, to be honest.
Of course, is applied.
Yeah.
This is
Who has
I
remove
mean,
curse
I
other than
do.
you?
I get the feeling that this is something
maybe?
like the cancer ray gun. Boom! You have cancer.
Yeah.
So, after the clamoring dies down, all of the reporters are kind of like raising their hands and asking questions like crazy. And Eric just nods to Paddington, and the gates open, and like you see the crowd comes closer to the stand, but still still behind the vanguard. So there's like maybe 5 to 10 feet of distance between you and the crowd, and they start going. What's your name? How shall we call you? Are you divine envoy from the gods? Is really true that you kill people in the streets? Is it true that you are sleeping with your brother from another mother? That's like different things going around.
What? Fisher will answer every question with absolute honesty.
You! Question for the magic man that appeared out of nowhere. What's your name?
Yes? My name is Hareth Fisher.
Hareth Bishar. Where do you come from, Hareth Bishar? Is it true that you are a wizard sent to deceive everybody?
No, it is not true. I'm not a wizard. I originally come from Gralia, was the island called, I think? Right? Yeah. I come from Gralia, originally.
Question for Bishar. And like another guy raises the hand. Is it true that you were part of the murders committed in the streets? Were you involved with the giant orangutan that was seen wrecking the massage room of Osmis?
That's an oddly specific question. Everything that happened in the streets fight was the shared responsibility of myself and everyone in my party,
Including...
including Seth Orangutan.
Yes.
Question for Eric.
Martin, may I?
Question for Martin.
Question for Martin. Question for DM. Question for the voice above. I'd like to. I wasn't speaking. I was just the setting, the placemat,
Trophy Angel.
the pretty thing that the thing that sells the car, not the car. If you want to know what I mean. But I was very actively looking at the crowd. And the crowd right now, besides the weird questions and all the paparazzi bullshit. The normal people, how are they reacting? What is their state of being? Are they
There's-
absolutely disgusted by us, or are they actively listening? And
Why don't you give me an insight check?
yeah, and I would like to see what the older people think and what the young people around us think, because old people know what happened. Old people were there. Were there when it happened. The young ones, the second, third, fifth generation after, didn't have contact with it. You know what I mean?
Yes and no, because the for them to have lived through the fracturing, they would need to be close to like 100 years old, and Beast Walker life expectancy is much shorter than, especially the original Beast Walkers, the one that were other races turned into Beast Walkers, tend to live like 30 or less. But the most of the old population of Nersandia is probably like first generation Beast Walkers, so children of those. Like, remember the elder that looks like you? She walks with a cane, and she was like really old.
Yeah, she was ancient.
So
I
what
mean,
did you
I am
roll for
ancient.
insight?
27, Martin.
There is a mixture. For the most part, once again, the people here, you have no way of knowing if any of these ones were directly affected by the events that happen in the streets, other than emotional trauma from seeing a murder in the streets. But
I beg you, manslaughter at best.
but it seems that the propaganda aspect and maybe the speech, the rallying speech, seems to have raised the spirits of the people and for the most part work in the favor. There seems to be like a fire lit in the eyes of the older people. The younger people seem to be more point of I have to tell you what
27.
it's just like a very complex, deep sort of like contradiction of emotions, because there was also the part of them wanting to be part of the empire and also not wanting to be part of the empire and maintain their own identity. But so there's a conflict between the news of the demise of the emperor and the threat. There's a sort of fear from that point. They seem to believe what you said, especially after Commander Paddington is standing there in front of you. You don't get the feeling that the people present are going to believe that this is either propaganda or lies. It would be too extreme to create the threat of war against the whole empire. But there's also a conflict for what's to come. An expectancy of, yes, we are the good guys now, but also a conflict of, oh, people are going to die. We are going to war. Bishar, question for you. Where did you gain your arcane abilities?
Who says my abilities are okay?
Then how did you come from nothing? You were either invisible or polymorph. Those are arcane spells. They are banned in Nersandia.
I am capable of taking on the forms of many animals. Through my how would Vishal see this? That's a good question.
Connection to
Through my
nature.
connection to nature, yeah, probably. Yeah.
Guidance by the stars, maybe.
Star seems more arcane.
It's
Well, he's a star
How-
druid.
well, how I out of character see this is it's more like a specialization, you could say. So different druids are more attuned to different aspects of nature, but everything still comes from a connection with nature.
Following question for Bishar. Does that mean that you have any affiliation with the Keepers of Life? Are the Keepers of Life also against the newly proclaimed Emperor Shoralf?
Who are the keepers of life again?
When you were in Kerth, do you remember the druid that...
Yeah, there was a swan lady.
Oh, right.
She was calling me Sunflower, I think, or
Mhm.
Little Rose.
Little
They were the
sun-
ones who lived in the tower, right? And were like responsible for the grain fields, stuff like that.
Yes, and they
Yeah,
also
yeah.
had like a headquarters in Perth, where you met a guy. There were like a bunch of vines. He was an old sort of like
Yes. I'm not directly related to them or affiliated with them, but I do respect their work. And our powers stem from mostly the same sources.
Another reporter goes, "Question for the angel! Question for the angel!
Yes.
Are you a direct envoy of Ambrose?"
Directly from Laika.
What's your relationship with Longus and the current Longstad Empire? Does this mean that you stand against the values of the Empire?
I can show you what I saw what happened with Longus, with the Empire.
Following question. Does that mean that you were alive 400 years ago? No, sorry. 160
Yeah.
years ago?
Yes.
That's... All of the reporters stare at each other.
That doesn't make any sense.
Following question. Is your current presentation of a Beast Walker a facade, or are you truly a Beast Walker?
I fly to him. Very close.
This is what they made me.
He sees the scars. He sees the prestidigitation ice drop. He sees my... I don't think I've ever explained this, but Kauliki's eyes are stitched.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a new one.
The cat slit.
eyelids, or...
No, the cat's slit is stitched. It's... She is a one fucking thing of scars and
Oh,
very,
Frankenstein.
very... Yeah, she's basically Frankenstein. But
I
pretty.
think you need new character art.
That's going to be
She's
difficult
basically
to generate.
Frankenstein, but very
Yeah.
pretty.
It's really hard generating scars and all stuff with AI.
Yeah, I've
without
tried
it.
to make it an ugly thing. It's not possible.
You can send your character art fanfiction to @FateWeaver's TTRPG.
Oh, please do.
Martin.
Yeah, I would be like very close to him.
Yeah, David.
Can I? I'm gonna use my at will change whatever the thingy is. Change your appearance spell.
Self.
Disguise self. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I'm gonna disguise myself into a like very stereotypical like reporter sort of like with the brim and the hat and the like the overcoat and with like just random like sort of like microphone thing like the others have. I'm
Question,
gonna
just to fuck with you. Disguise self. First of all, it's an illusion against alter self, which is transmutation. So be sure that it's disguise self, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Secondly, it doesn't give you props for the disguise. It can give you props if you give me one of your fate dice.
You can change your clothes.
Your clothes, yeah, but it's not going to give you like a microphone.
Yeah, sure. Fuck it. I'll spend the fate dice for that.
I have a question for Martin, because I'm a fan of chaos.
Okay.
Can the gods still see through illusions?
The gods or the guards?
The
guards.
Oh, the guards.
Because they use the potions in their eyes and stuff like that.
Well,
because that might
it was
fuck up
potions
Kotal's
of-
plan a bit.
It was potions of invisibility,
Otto doesn't know it.
not of true.
Yeah, I know.
Not of true sight.
I'm aware of that.
It was just
Not
see
true
invisibility.
sight.
True sight is way more expensive.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and run up to the front, and I said, "Hey, is it true that Joralf destroyed the city of Kern?"
Yes.
Yes.
Do we know it's Quattle?
No.
You still look like Quattle, just with the reporter's hat, or are you just a regular guy?
Yes.
Just a normal.
He bombarded an innocent city. He actively opened fire.
How do you have this information? Where is this information coming from? No reports have been made. No official
We were
proclamations
there.
have been made.
We were there. We tried to help the citizens, civilians. My adoptive mother was driven out of her home. I'm
There's-
not lying.
There's a moment of silence. There's between the.
If my words are not enough, I can show you.
You said 19 fucking passive perception, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You notice that some of the reporters put down their quills and they bring another one. And they start kind of like writing quickly. With the 19 perception, I'm going to ask you to give me an arcana.
No, I don't.
I'm
I
right
do.
next to them.
Can I make a
can
spell?
I
Do
see?
Arcana.
What's
Can I
passive
see with my
perception?
18?
Oh, fucking hell.
20.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys? What
I'm a
happened
wisdom character. Wisdom is my jam, and I'm
What
proficient
happened
in
to good
wisdom shit.
old Brad the human fighter with 12?
Fuck them.
Well, you left him at level 3.
Yeah, Quotul with an 18 can see that, and Bishar with a 20 can see this from even farther away. But Bishar, give me the Arcana check with disadvantage because you are far away to make up the.
Oh. Oh, god damn it.
What is Ephraim doing throughout all of this? Was Ephraim outside with like Eric and Kaulike? You're muted.
You're
You're
muted.
muted.
I think
Still
it's
muted?
on your laptop, not on Discord.
It may be a mic.
Yeah.
Ring can mute himself in 20 different ways.
Is that suspicious?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird. Anyway, yeah. Basically, Ephraim's using this time to sort of move closer to where Eric is, so he's in sight. And then has anybody actually come forward to, attack him yet?
Oh no. That Eric said that is going to be in a day's time
Oh, I see.
to give to give place for like news to spread through the city for the people
Oh,
that
right.
want to
Okay.
actually retaliate together.
In that case, I will just sort of stand close and look at the crowd and see who people I think might be wanting to do it. Because Ephraim wants to go up and talk to them.
Okay.
Shanked him in an alley somewhere.
Just shank them.
Shoot them with his gun.
Yeah.
I am
don't
debating
even
if
think
to
that's
call this
normal.
a perception or an insight. I'm going to call it more of an insight for the
Okay.
crowd itself, to see if you can spot like specific types
Mm.
of looks.
Would be good. Yeah. Like 5.
Hard to see. There's like a crowd. It's not right in front of you, and like the reporters are just like at the front. Hard to see. Arcana check. For
Arcana. 12 plus 7, whatever that is.
19.
19.
Oh, again?
Not you, Rain. What
Okay.
about Bishar? Arcana.
Well, I did have a 19 as well, but then I had to roll with disadvantage, and now I have a 30.
Okay, and Quattle?
Yeah, 1 second. Hard corner.
I gave you time.
That is a 22.
Show off.
God. That rolled on my screen.
19. Kauliki, you notice like the arcane script ingrained into the quills. it seems to be a quill of lower quality in terms of craftsmanship. It is not as finely detailed or engraved. Maybe it's not golden and it's more kind of copper or brass. You do not really know the exact of the arcane scripture, but with the 20 plus, you don't know what the arcane scripture is right now, but you are fairly confident that you could write it and replicate the glyphs that form the majority of the arcane scripture, and somebody with more of an arcane knowledge would be able to, with a little bit of time, decipher the procedures of the scripture. For the most part, it seems to be similar to the original quill, like the same formula to send the message, but some of the glyphs are different and change.
Could I infer it to be some sort of spell? Like, because I know, like, sending and stuff like that. Could I just possibly infer, like, bits and pieces from that?
All of the quills are a quill of sending. It literally replicates what is being written onto another quill in some other place in the world. It just means that this quill is writing to a different destinatary.
Person.
It's a bit hypocritical for society that hates arcane magic, wouldn't you say?
Well, these guys are peace walkers, but they are still members of members of the...
That's okay if they do it.
Well, they are reporters. They are part of the Laughing Wisp Guild, and with a 20 fucking 19, 18 passive perception, the reporters for the most part seem to be either younger or hybrid peace walker. Not they don't seem to be like old purebred beast walkers.
Okay. I'm gonna try and send this even further into hell by is it true the High Inquisitor was there and was partook in the destruction of Cairn?
Baggington. Oh, Girth.
Yes, Luciana Valera was there.
That's the Grand Maker.
Helios.
Serafina Van Helios.
Serafina von Helios.
Yes, the insert name here was there.
Both were there, so yeah.
Were there any other Jor-El sympathizers that were present?
Serafina Van Helios was there.
Is it true that both of them were present in the city during the altercation?
Yes?
The High Inquisitor? The High
Yes.
Inquisitor was attacking us, yes.
Having used Bishar's heroic inspiration, this barrage of questions continues for another 5 to 10 minutes. You answer all of them truthfully. None of them, once again, with Bishar's heroic inspiration, none of them seem to be catching you off guard or misleading to misinterpretation. After...
Are there any children around?
No.
Good.
Maybe out in like the streets, but children wouldn't come to like political rallies. After a couple of more minutes of questions, Commander Paddington steps in and goes, "A formal announcement shall be prepared and delivered through the city tonight. Family members and close ones to the honorable people that lost their lives protecting the city shall be notified, and tomorrow at 6 in the evening, at the ring of the last bell, a public lynching shall be performed based on Mr. Eric Stark Carver's suggestion." For now, no more questions. And they start pushing out the people out. And Paddington walks into the place. You follow him, and as soon as the door,
Is Quattle being shoved off?
Yes.
Shoved off as well.
More questions.
and
I want more.
See?
as soon as the doors of the enclave close, you will see
Can
Paddington.
you just tell that you are here?
No.
Paddington
I
just
think
kind of
Paddington couldn't handle another party member suddenly appearing out of nowhere.
Oh no!
Yeah, I mean, like another.
Paddington
Paddington
just
knows that you should be here.
turns
He
around,
doesn't.
looks at all of you. I hate reporters. And at this time, you see all of the council members coming in from the illusory wall. Quattle, you outside see that the crowd of reporters stay for a while longer, talking amongst themselves as they finish in writing for like a minute or two. The guy that has like a crystal of sending is, and this is Marcus. Marcus Longfang reporting from Nersandia as more news are to come. Back to you at 9 p.m., Sherry. And just the reporters are just kind of like comparing notes, sharing different things.
Over to John Johnson with the weather.
Because Drew trapped. The weather is.
Sunny with a chance of war.
Yeah, what with the Quaddle with his weather forecast for the next few days?
He has a stick in the middle of a circle with like different symbols of clouds and suns, and just drops and that's going to be the weather tomorrow. The council members come from like the hidden underground, and the lion, sort of younger beast walker, mixed breed that I already forgot his name from last time. That goes, "Oh, I certainly heard everything, and that was an astonishing display of political intrigue. You might have a future helping us lead the masses, young Stark Harbor." He just like hands the paw to Eric. Anything else you guys want to do, or we cut to that evening where you either return to the ship or they will provide a safe place for you to stay in the enclave?
I will just respond to what he just said by basically saying, well, all we really did was tell them the truth. So I would advise you to keep doing that if you want to, I don't know, be a good leader, I suppose. Politics is not really necessary, as long as your intentions are pure.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Stone. You see, and he calls you son. This guy is maybe late 20.
Is very young.
The truth must always be there, but the way that we portray the truth and say the truth is important to not create unnecessary chaos among the populace, which there was a little bit of that. I'm not going to lie, some people are going to be scared, but overall you did a good show. I'm giving you a B+. Oh, sorry, my old teacher is coming out for but we can deal with the remainder of this. For the rest of the day, the councilmen have decided to provide a safe place for you to rest if you so wish. We can arrange rooms here on the enclave. It is protected by the Fang Watch, so nobody should be getting weird ideas during the evening.
Can someone go and grab Quattle?
What's a
Where
quarter?
is he?
I will get him momentarily.
If you are going to go
A friend of
out
ours.
into the streets, be careful. Keep your eyes. There might be some people that are a little bit impulsive.
We'll be fine. Also, Commander Paddington? I keep forgetting his name.
Puggington.
Puggington, right? I apologize for the commotion I caused earlier, but it was necessary.
What commotion are you speaking of, boy?
I gestured to the guards who were like rubbing out their eyes of the all-seeing fluid or whatever. That. And it's a pleasure to formally meet you.
If he isn't
Oh my
totally
God.
stupid, he will realize the voice.
I rolled a 1.
Oh.
So, you were lying
And
when you
this
said that
man
you
is
were
running the country.
the military.
He's running the guards. Yeah.
Military, fucking hell.
So you were lying when you said that you have no arcane powers.
It's
No.
not arcane.
He was
I did not lie.
invisible.
That was not
Yeah,
invisible.
not arcane. I mean, we've told you a lot of new things. I think you can believe in this one.
If I were invisible, your guards would have seen me with their potions, wouldn't they?
And how did you speak out?
I can transform myself into animals and retain some of my, well,
Yes, I
human,
know
you could
the
say, abilities.
magic of the keepers of life. I had many extensive conversations over the ethics. Some
Well,
of
then
them,
I'm sure you're aware of the concept.
but they are not able to speak.
What ethics?
I leave that up to you.
What
I'm
did you
just-
say? Sorry.
But they are not able to speak when they are in these animal forms.
Just
Basic
that
bitches.
good.
Well, it really depends on how much you allow yourself to be attuned to nature, I suppose.
AKA,
Maybe you have become a bit more urbanized than I have.
Bishar is in 2024 and everybody else is in 2014.
Living in the future.
I mean, 2024 is the past.
Well, yeah, it's relatively speaking.
Just.
Relative to the
Like 22 days
default
in the past.
D&D time period, 2014 is
Oh, yes.
the future.
If you are able to be an animal and speak, that might be indeed impressive espionage. I'm going to have a conversation. If it's possible, I would request your distant guidance at a later point, after all of this debacle has come down. I have some members of my guard that delve a little bit into the nature arts. Or at least that's what they do.
We'll see.
Anything else you guys do, or do we cut to the evening?
I will collect
We are in a
bottle at some
courtyard-
point.
courtyard,
or try
right?
to.
You are in the enclave.
Is it like a buildings, a gate? Or is it like one building and like a
One
wall?
large building.
Hmm?
Let's say it's like a kilometer square building with a large courtyard in front of it, and it is surrounded by the downtown of the city. Yeah, it is a fucking big building.
So we are
Think of this
separated.
place.
We are We're separated from the public by a wall or a building.
There's a courtyard surrounding all the building, and then there is like a metallic
Courtyard
fence.
is a place inside a wall. So
Kilometer
it's a wall.
square building. Oh my god, that's immense.
Courtyard is
That's
Yeah.
ginormous.
That's
It was-
bigger
it
than a
was the old-
pentagon.
The old barracks.
Oh, the Pentagon is...
No.
Well, okay, it's like 200 meter squared building.
All right, fair enough.
Thank you, because it's like a kilometer square is fucking ginormous.
This used to be a
No.
military building of the Glorium Arcanum
Yeah.
at one point.
I mean, a kilometer square is like 30.
Like
By
when I say
30
kilometer square,
meters.
I don't mean only like the edification itself. It is surrounded by grass on
Yeah.
the sides, and there's like fences surrounding all of it. So pretty much like a political building, like a capital or something.
What I want to know is if I would fly high enough, would I be over a wall to see into this city proper? To just shout out for Quattle to come the fuck here?
There's no wall. It's a metallic fence.
Okay, wonderful, even better. I'm just flying up over the fence. What? Like screaming Quattle.
a couple of children look up and go like, "Mom, there's an angel." Yeah, of course, honey. There's an angel in the sky.
Meanwhile,
Not even looking up. Yeah, shut up.
Quattle, who's just been relaxing, just eating another lettuce, in like this bistro cafe, just relaxing, just cosplaying the reporter more, like writing up his notes. He'll hear,
Another career.
yeah, new career, got to play the part. He'll hear mum screaming, and he'll make his way towards the gate. He'll drop his disguise, and he'll try and make his way into the place.
Now, we'll think about the city without with a harsh ban on arcane magic. Not many people.
Hmm.
Not really prepared to defend against dead meat. So definitely you just time how much the guards take making the run. Poof, you are there.
Up.
Wonderful. Hi. Where were you?
Oh, I was in the crowd providing.
You.
Yeah.
Nice.
And she
I thought they
knows.
Yeah, I thought they should know, and I gave you a little bit extra flair.
We're being invited to set up camp till tomorrow.
And then after that, it's the Eric's lynching, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Something like that. It doesn't quite have a name yet, but
I'll leave it.
Okay.
Fix la Peru.
So, anything of import during that evening. We cut to a Gava angrily being pestered by Thuras and a Marlish kind of like depressed blob onto a chair, just moving like a little lever up and down, boringly moving as he hears like the two quote-unquote adults discussing amongst each other. And we cut to the outside of the ship as we see one of the gun turrets of the ship just going.
Lever.
oh,
Please don't accidentally fire up a shot, Marlish.
There's like
Please.
this Beast Walker kid with like an ice cream just licking it, and we see the gun just. Anything that you want to do during the evening? Any discussion of import that you want to have? You have. This is a political building, ex-military facility. So it's not a hotel per se, but the councilman, one of the the eldest councilman, I forgot his name too. Back with name. I don't want to open my for brevity. Just Sonia, was she Sonia? He shows you to like her own room. Touches like
I've just written down Mama Star cover here. Sorry.
touches like a bookcase, and the bookcase moves on its own by mechanical means. And behind the bookcase, she shows you that she has like a queen bed. Sometimes when I'm working here, the nights can be long and full of terrors. So I have all of us, to be fair, have a little bedroom to crash. You can use mine for the evening. I'll be at my home.
Eric, don't you want to be home? We can stay here, but isn't your father there? Jesus Christ, I want proper English here. Isn't your father there?
Proper English! Oh my god! Tiny Tim!
I great my. I believe that it is better to kill tomorrow. My name was said, but my last name was left outside. I don't want any harm to. I believe that my mother counsel and have her own project. Go home tonight. There might be those funny ideas. I've been gone for weeks now. A month. One more day, one. Yes, this campaign has taken course over 1 month.
It's like what?
Yep.
Is it like 1 to 2 months? It's definitely not a month. Come
Mm.
on.
Month and a little
No,
bit.
it's not much more than a month.
Jesus
Like
Christ.
it's really.
It doesn't,
Ugh.
based on my math, it's like you are in the edge of the 7th week.
So we had like almost a year
Rent
inside
is
the
almost
tower.
due.
That was just like, yeah.
Oh yeah, the tower was basically just a subset in time, wasn't it?
The
And,
tower,
It
but
was
it
just like
took.
a day.
the tower was
The
like
tower was
3
like
days inside the tower, but was 10 minutes in reality.
And took over like nearly a year out of the
Yeah.
game. Jesus.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
pretty exactly a year. Okay. Surely he would like be like,
I I think I'll. I don't want Gaba to be alone on the ship with us and Malish.
Yes. I.
But somebody
Mm.
needs to protect the ship. The Elysian Vale is.
Suras is very capable.
I'm not worried about
Oh yes.
these walkers. Worried about the. They knew they opened the barrier for us to come. Diana Valera even told us where to land the Elysian.
So she alone would not be able to stop them.
Well, she didn't stop us before.
Because she's not worried about the Elysian Veil.
Hmm.
That magic that she used.
Martin just doesn't want Gaba to be here.
That magic that she used could drop it out of the sky if she wanted to.
I mean, they might want the ship for their own. There's very few in existence.
Bottle.
Couldn't we bring the ship into the city? Park it like above the. I mean, we have a building with a
Yeah.
square kilometer side. I mean, there's probably we could park it above there. or
It's not
something.
that big, I guess.
Blowing
Yeah.
the ship out right there.
Yeah, plenty of space.
David, can you roll me a d20?
God. D20. 7.
Keep on.
Okay.
But this is actually a good idea. We can ask someone to for a place where we could land the ship closer to the city.
We could talk to Pug. I mean,
Mm.
he would have some idea.
Bishar, as
Yeah.
this conversation is going on in one of the rooms, second floor of the enclave, they're probably one of the rooms like on the back of the building. It sees into like a large sort of like a courtyard, maybe let's call it 50 meters of just grass. You hear a You don't hear, you feel a shift in the air. And
Who teleported?
the window is closed.
Who is invisible in here?
Looking through spell list, which stuff do I have prepared?
Sorry, the window is closed. You do not feel a shift in the air. You feel a shift in like air.
Oh, right, as
Ayo.
in the
Like-
magic.
Like it's not like
Yes.
your hair moves or something. You just get a feeling.
Do I notice any disturbance in the spirits? I don't need to use any charges anymore, right, with my eyes?
No, you
Otherwise
have
I will. But yeah.
you fully melded, merged.
Mhm.
Inside the room, nothing seems to have changed. You notice some of the air, sort of like lesser spirits, begin detaching themselves from, let's say, Ephraim is the one closest to the window, and seem to be going through the building to the courtyard outside.
We've had enough time for a short rest now, haven't we?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna heal up with some hit dice. And do some
Are we
stuff.
doing hit dice?
Short rest. We
Short rest is always hit dice, isn't it?
we are using the heroic healing. Not
Are
anymore. Not anymore. We stopped
No.
using
Yeah.
it around
Yeah.
late.
Yeah.
So it goes back to normal for short rest healing, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Can I open a mind link to the others quickly one by one, because I only have one-on-one, and basically say duck.
What?
Duck, as in
I
Down.
know.
as soon as
Oh,
I do,
yeah.
I will fire guiding bolts into the corners of the room, see if there's anybody there.
You scorch the room. The wooden wall. There seems to be like a wallpaper placed onto it, but you scorch it.
I
and
immediately
underneath it, you
try to
see
calm.
underneath the wallpaper, you see like old sort of like I'm going to call it Soviet sort of building made out of like
Oh,
that
like really
cement.
very concrete.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like concrete. And as you do, what did you say you do? Hello?
I'm just calming down the flames so they don't burn the pretty fancy thing completely down.
Oh, it's radiant damage, so probably.
Oh, right.
Squash.
Oh, I heard
Yeah, it scorches the wallpaper.
firebolt.
Guiding bolt. Sorry.
Oh,
And
okay. Never mind then. I'm cool.
At that
I'm
point-
not doing anything.
in the window, you hear knock, 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 kind of like a finger touching onto it, and you see this sort of like very elegant hand. It's covered by a glove, white glove, with like a streak of purple and some laces of gold. Almost like a lady of high etiquette would use in something like a gala or an opera. And it's just.
Would you say we're in dim light?
Probably not anymore with all the guiding bolts fired into the room.
I would
Everything is
say,
glowing now.
Use
Walls.
fire.
There,
Yeah.
there is no dim inside inside the room. It is bright light. There's like a sort of flame elemental stone that is dimmable, and I imagine with all of you talking there, it would be turned on to the brightest.
That's fair.
Okay.
It's just a hand floating.
That's the hand float.
Mage hand.
Mage hand, yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
I open
Is it-
the window, if
You-
it is possible to be opened.
Yeah. You open the window. It's one of those windows that you open up, kind of like it's
Flash
like
window.
sliding. Yeah, Mr. Architect. And the hand just kind of like goes like this, kind of like for you to grab the hand or to kiss a ring or something like that. And after you don't do anything, the hand just kind of lights up and points down. You look down. In the middle of the courtyard, you see a woman, long flowing dress, kind of like a wedding dress that has like a veil that extends for 5 meters. But the dress is entirely made of purplish with a streak of red and details on gold. And you see the black ebony hair of Grand
Valera.
Magus Luciana Valera, as she's just kind of like with a long cigar, just smoking. And hi, darling.
I jump out of the window
Oh,
towards her.
you come towards
Oh,
her.
I was going
Yeah.
to say I closed the window and turned my back, but now
God damn it.
Late.
You fly down, and she's just standing there smoking and waiting for you. Oh, hi, darling. Can we have a chat?
If you're being civil,
When have I not been?
a few times already. What are you doing? What are you doing here? Why are you here?
We have a chat. I just said that, you silly thing.
I don't have produce flame, but I firebolt up so she can light her cigarette.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
She's smoking. You scorch half the cigar with the firebolt.
Don't you know that smoking is very bad for your health?
Oh, everybody
Well, are
has
you
to
not-
die from something. Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
and I would prefer that you would die by my hand, not by your own choosing.
That's not true.
What?
That's not.
Quartel will poke his head out the window if it's still open, and he will say to Kaoliki, be careful, she's a scion of... Oh god, who was it again?
Zerbil? No, that was Joralf.
That's Jor-Elf.
That's a different one. Which
I
different
can't
one?
remember, where's my notes?
What demon do you need?
It's a Burke Chalice... Oh, Kobil. Kobil? I don't know if I'm saying that right.
I don't care who she is. I just know that she made me.
Mm.
Hi, cousin. How are you? And I made you such a lovely thing, darling, didn't I? You look so great. I'm so glad to see you grew up so. Come on. Let's get out of Cryby Eyes, shall we? He
No.
starts flying up
No,
towards the
you stay
building.
here.
He flies past
No.
you.
Close the window.
She flies past you, and the long dress is literally still next to you, and she's like next to the window, just
I
smoking.
step on the dress.
You step on the dress.
Yes.
The dress just rips.
Oh.
Oh,
Psychic damage.
I paid so much gold for this. Well,
What a waste of good money.
it had to die from something. I guess it was you. It's just with like the part where she smokes from her large cigar, taps on the window 2 times. You notice that where her lips make contact with this metal pipe, it is just covered in large, blushing red lipstick.
What is it that you want?
For you to open the door, first of all, darling. We are going to have a conversation. I said that I was going to come later.
Don't
Don't you
pretend
know
you
that-
cannot in here, even if we were to deny you entry.
Don't you pretend that you're not a blood-sucking thing? You don't need our invitation to get in.
But I want to.
Still
I'm trying
wants
to
it.
be civil. Besides, if we stay out here, we are going to attract little furry ears that might not be ready to hear what I'm going to say. Unless you want to see some heads popping.
But I think I thought you were so proud of those very little ears that you created.
And that's why I don't want them to have their head pop before their time.
Either way, we're not complete.
I'm fine. talking out here. It's just a little breezy, and this grass is so lovely orange. I don't want it to be turned red just by a few words before their time.
How many people are outside?
Nobody, but you know if you at any moment look outside the window that there are guards that make like rounds going around the whole fence of the enclave. So the next patrol could be up any moment. So far nobody has seen you.
Come inside if it pleases you. Get the door yourself.
Bishar, the last time we let something in or out, we let Jor-Elf out. Come on.
Well, it's not
That was
like this
me,
building
really.
can contain creatures that.
Yes.
After you say come inside, the hand that is still there just kind of like opens up the window and does like a flavorant sort of bow and extends the hand, and she just flies in, putting like her hand onto like her mage hand and slightly very delicate walking in, and you see like her long stiletto-like high heels, now that the long skirt of her dress has been ripped, just touch the ground, and you start noticing that the part where her dress was ripped, all of you with your fucking high passive perception, notice that the dress is slowly regenerating itself, almost as if it's growing silk, almost like kneading itself back to time.
Can I
step on it
go?
again. Sorry, go on.
Can I go up to the door and do the classic chair under handle so nobody can come in?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yep. Cool.
I put a sock on this handle.
Has a very obvious lock. Like no, door, chair.
She pokes her head out. Come on, K13 darling, we are waiting for you.
I fly up to the height of the window and
No.
like with a barrel roll inside, wings.
Do a barrel roll.
Exactly.
Actually,
Wings tucked in and just like spearheaded through the window.
after you come in, she just points like her finger, and Ishar, you notice all of the spirits that were surrounding that piece of skirt that was left in the grass wither. They don't even turn red, they just pop, almost as if a cell is exploding. And you all notice the earth starts disintegrating. Ishar, you also saw from her finger, almost invisibly, faintly, thin, almost millimeter, not even a millimeter, nanometer, thinner than a hair, goes from her her fingernail towards the dress, as she just cast a blight spell, and the part of the dress just disintegrates.
I could undress her.
I am. This me out of character question.
Yes.
These spirits are everywhere, right? And they're probably
Yes.
hanging around each person, and
Yes.
depending on what sort of power they have, or what sort of, I don't know, mentality they have, different sorts of spirits hang around different people. Is that true?
Kinda. It's technically based on the nature of magic that you are more attuned to. I'm not talking about the schools of magic. I have. Okay, let's do a retroactive. Let's call it religion check. Or no, you know what? Nature.
Nature check.
He's got proficiency in that now.
Well, kind of.
He's now smart in his own
I can add
element.
my wisdom modifier to it, which is the same. So yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, nature, right?
Yes. we will say this is Bishar understanding over like how the lesser spirits work over the last month or so that he's been able to.
Mm.
It's not great. It's 13.
So you are on the right track. The spirits are drawn towards people, the lesser spirit. Some people attract more lesser spirits than others. It seems that people with strong magical powers, strong will, or wearing artifacts or with innate magic attract the largest quantity. The type of spirit that is drawn. There are so far that you have seen 6 types of spirit: red, green, yellow, brown, dark, kind of like crimson, and bright, kind of like amber. So far, you have considered them to be fire, earth, wind, water, corruption, and light. You are not entirely certain what makes specific types of spirits appear. You do remember back in Relia, the spirits were being changed from the elemental type of 4 spirits to the crimson corrupted spirits. You don't know what caused that change in the lesser spirit. You think that it had something to do with the demon, quote unquote. I'm using the word demons in quotes because later on you found out that they were artificial spirits created by the Glorium Arcanum to be infused into magical items as a way to give them will. Now, back to the question in origin. Why would Ephraim attract earth spirits in a larger quantity than the others? The theory that Bishar has come at this point with the 13 has to do with the own nature of each person. Seems like each person by themselves and the way that they live is attuned or drawn to certain nature, certain elements. Nature and elements of what? The question. I imagine that you have discussed this with some of your companions over the past month, right?
Yeah. We've talked
Maybe.
about spirits a bit.
Yeah, it would have come up at some points. Yeah, sure.
Who do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think would have gone to help you come up with theories or research for this? Name one person.
Eric, probably due to his connection to Mirko.
Okay, we're going through the ritual side. I'm going to make this a relationship, Eric, in this case. Or, we could call it also insight to introspective work. Okay. Also a 30. All of this is just conjecture at this time. Eric brings up the idea of ether, the energy that forms the world, the raw substance that arcanists and giant rune magic use to power them. Ether is a raw energy. It's everywhere. It cannot be seen. Some people believe that absorbing larger quantities of ether leads to stronger bodies. Therefore, the respiration breathing techniques that allow for chi working. Therefore, the battle combat techniques that harden the body that is absorbing ether, making your body stronger. At least that's theory. The Arcanists are the ones that have maybe the largest understanding of ether, as they, through meditation, through respiration techniques, through different ways to absorb ether into their body, they can refine it into mana, which in game mechanics gets interpreted into spell slot. That is why, for example, an Arcanist could try to cast a 9th level spell, but his would be destroyed immediately because it is not able to withstand that amount of mana, ether. So it is still a working theory. You don't have anything in particular. Maybe there are nature. People are born with an affinity to each type of ether, if it can be classified. And yes, it can be. I have a whole classification, and I have a whole lore. I haven't rolled.
So, please
So, yeah.
focus on this.
Looking back
what-
as Luciana Valera closes the window after disintegrating the skirt of her dress, she sits on. I'm going to say there's a middle of the room. She sits very kinda like Marilyn Monroe, crossing like her legs and just curving over, looks at you. Oh, are we missing one of our cousins, dear cousin? Where's the blue one?
Just in between, the reason I asked this question in the first place was Vishar is actively trying to basically remember her specific spirit's signature, so I could recognize her later or feel when she's near. Trying to do that.
Can you give me an insight?
Okay. I will use a fate dice.
Yeah, I think that D20 was me, or a sort of recognition of knowing that Valera was here, like the Scion connection. So it would
Oh,
be
right.
nice to have a second opinion on it as well, if you can recognize it.
Insight, you said, right?
Yes.
27.
Let's go back to the lesser spirit. We just said that they are attracted to strong sources of ether, which in the past we have described as magic. You all are surrounded by exponentially more times lesser spirits than a normal common folk. Looking at Luciana Valera, you notice that the spirits seem to be concentrating around some of the things that she's wearing instead of like her skin or her hands or anything that is showing on her body. It seems to be focusing around the pipe from which she's smoking, her robe, her necklace, the talisman. It seems to have like the face of a black dragon biting onto an amethyst. And her robe that is regrowing. Other than those 4 points, you don't seem to see. The spirits are almost like avoiding her body. It is very peculiar. So, I'm going to say
Alright.
you could possibly recognize her just by looking at the person and seeing this same thing. Or at the very least somebody that displays the same feature, if that were to be possible.
Fair enough.
Oh, that's such a shame. I was hoping that my blue cousin would be here. Oh, well, you can just fill her in later.
Get to the
Probably better if she wasn't here, to be honest, because she'd probably fly into a stupid rage.
Probably try and kill you.
Yes.
She likes to throw some tantrums and fits from time to time. Yes, that's something that comes with a twisted side of morality, like Azerra. But I would be fine. I can deal with her. Annoying, but still fun.
Get to the point.
So are you.
Oh yes. I forgot something. My time is very valuable. So many people to come. Make sure that this investigation is going on. Make sure that the black powder doesn't destroy the place. And she's staring at Ephraim when she's saying that. Make sure that Rosalia is doing the proper things. Just managing. Only I could
Don't
have
pretend.
hundreds of
You are
myself.
not busy. You have nothing better to do. Get to the point.
I mage hand and stamp out her cigarette.
We are inside, sweetheart. It's rude to smoke indoors.
Very well. And she pulls down the cigarette, goes onto like her behind her robe. There's nothing. There's no belt. Just a simple dress and a robe. And like you see that she pulls out like a flask and opens up a flask and starts drinking. Go for a sip.
No.
Darling, has anybody ever told you that you are like a raw diamond? Beautiful. But so rough around the edge. It would suit you better if your tone and demeanor were as beautiful as your face.
Are we going to be doing this all night?
Do you want
Or are you going to
This
get
all
to the
night.
point?
Such a partner? Well, I came here to deliver a message, and I'm here to deliver the message. She puts like her, just plucks her fingers, and like the mage hand comes, and the mage hand goes to like touch onto the table, and you start seeing kind of like, do you guys remember watching The Mummy back in like
The movie?
2001?
Yes?
There
Well,
was a
didn't
scene-
Some
watch
of
it
us
2001,
weren't
but-
even born then.
I know. I know
know
what it is.
I've watched The Mummy, but not in 2001.
Yeah, exactly. The same.
In
Until
trashy, more
Myuu.
recent version.
There was a scene where a scarab is roaming around underneath the skin, and the skin bulges open and moves around.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it seems almost like
Oh,
that,
Jesus.
as the skin of the hand is kind of like moving over, as if
Yeah.
sphere, a stone is moving around, and as the hand is just like laying onto the desk right next to where she's sitting, you see a sphere, maybe the size of a palm, slightly smaller, drops and starts rolling around, and he just grabs it. All of you except for Ephraim, who doesn't have a 18 passive perception like a normal fucking human being.
Like 12.
Notice that the
We're
sphere
not normal
seems,
human beings.
notice that the sphere seems to be wet with a viscous sort of liquid, maybe kinda like a steel, and she just grabs it, and it's almost like a ruby that has been polished to be a perfect sphere. You notice that ingrained almost inside the ruby, not on the outside, there seems to be like glyphs, kinda like arcane glyphs. You were looking for the towers, were you not? If you want to call for a council here, you just have to follow the lines. Not hard, darling. It would be faster than amassing a whole army, marching down a mile. People. For what? Personal vendetta? Lionheart was good looking, but he wasn't that good to be.
He did enough to get this empire through a dark time.
It's true.
Oh, is that what you believe? Darling, Lionheart was A hoax. It's what they do. Manipulate the media, lie, tell truth. In reality, it was all the doing of normal, everyday working people such as myself that did the proper videos, the good talk to everybody. After all, the
Effective.
islands are not just flying up in the sky because the good emperor wanted them to. They are flying by magic. The true gift that Lord Krylus wanted to share with everybody. Now, I know what you are thinking. You know what? Let's play a game. I like this. I don't get to interact with people of my stature that often. The best I have is Azerra, but she's not the brightest. Not really good at chess. Let me see if I can figure out your next move. Going to somehow try to recruit the experiment into your banners that they march towards my capital. Then you are going to go around trying to find some allies. Who could be a threat to the capital? The mercenaries, the free city after maybe the orcs. They don't really like the sharing of their land for the empire, so they could be caught. That reminds me, the blue one is actually one that could play a part in that. The dragon newts? Oh, those would be those. Besides, I've treated them well. Are you going to go telling the truth about the origin of the world? What's outside? I'll tell you now. No, that's a bad move. That would pop too many heads. We could play this game for a week, 2 weeks maybe, at best. But once the islands begin dropping down, the game is over, darling. So I'd rather play a more entertaining, highly intellectual game. Go to the tower, call for your council. That will be so much lovely.
You visibly see that Kauliki is so hard trying not to say a fucking word or move. She's actively not even a freaking feather is moving because she's trying to get herself under control to just not just to jump on her.
Imagine that you're out of your cat mittens, like your claws are starting to show, like the edge of the claw.
Oh yeah.
The mindless rambling you were on was already over, right? At this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right, good. That's probably a good thing. What is your stake in this?
Fine. Darling. So beautiful, yet so dumb. Figuring that out is part of the game. If I were to tell you now, where would the fun in that be? I'll give you a
You
hint.
tell me.
Fighting against an opponent that you haven't really played with before might be a little hard and above the usual difficulty level that you're used to. I'm going to give you a little hint to follow, a trail of breadcrumb, if you so will call. She takes like a sip of the very ornate flask, and you see that like her glowing red lipstick, a little bit of that is gone. I am no offshore of the forgotten. We're just allies.
That makes sense.
And that's all I'm going to say. Lovely. Figure out the rest for yourself. Otherwise, you won't be as good of an opponent. I am rather bored. don't really have anybody to challenge my intellect at this moment.
I
You
will.
said an unfamiliar
Oh.
opponent is challenging. Why do you assume that only applies to us, not to yourself?
Oh, darling, please. I've dealt with people like you many times.
But you haven't dealt with us
Grandiose
specifically.
ideologies, wanting to be better, adventurers, the lesser people. So many, so many. Burn bright, but for a moment. I'm looking for something of a longer opponent. Something that will last for a while. And if not, we could always proceed with the plan. Go back to the world where the so-called gods. Maybe I could find somebody there.
That
What
sounds
was
like a
the-
great plan. Just fuck off there.
I might.
Leave this place. It's not yours.
Neither is
How
you.
many wars have you?
I will.
But I actually care for here. Not like
You
you.
could have. Yes, you could have your fights anywhere. Why? You don't have to have them here. If we're going to bore you.
I'm always open for the hope of a brighter tomorrow. After all,
Is that not grandiose?
don't we all follow the master plan? I'm sure that Rylus talked about it.
Mm,
Here
really
she is,
did.
a
Don't really-
Pyrus.
I don't really care that much.
That's good.
I mean,
Silly me, look at the time. I actually have a reading session with Sir. It's so lonely to take my. I leave this for you, Lovelace. I recommend hurrying up. Getting there might take. That big little ship of yours. Perhaps 2 days. You would have enough time to go and come back before an army is actually knocking against doors. And who knows? Perhaps new developments will be made in there.
Wonderful. Scram.
He just spins like that orb, and it begins like spinning in place, just rotating. And he stands up. The hand just kind of like jumps onto her shoulder, and disappears almost like into her body, just melting. Just melting.
Melting.
She looks at Quattro.
My skeletal cat claw appears above, underneath the orb. We'll take this, thank you.
Of course, it was a gift. He looks at Quattro. What you did today was indeed surprising. Lovely cost. I see why that a not pestering woman stayed with you for so many. You might have a surprise to give us all. You might be actually the one to break the master. I'm so hoping that. Please do. And she takes like a step and starts kind of like fading like smoke. Just stays in place where she is, and you see parts of like her dress start being translucent as she is gone. And the last word as she leaves is, "I so hope for." Would be really interesting. The plan broke, and she's gone from that, leaving that ruby.
Ephraim, I'm assuming you still have the key to the library.
yes. I haven't thrown it away, despite the blunders before.
Good. Might be better for us to talk in there rather than in here.
Yes.
I go straight towards Eric and I scream in his chest, so it's not heard outside.
Take the
Like,
chair away
I am
from the
using
door.
him as a muffler.
As you bring out the ornate key to the archive of the Glorium Arcanum, you turn it in the middle of the air, and you hear the click of a door opening. You start moving the key, and you can see once again into the archive. No lights on, desolated place, almost abandoned. Decades. The occasional animal bones can be found, and a large quantity of dust is top of everything. As that is where we are going to for tonight.
Very well.
I hate this fucking bitch. I am not smart enough to talk to her.
No. Like,
Next time,
man.
plans.
I'm just going to grow an intellect of 500 in 2 weeks.
I don't know.
Next time,
I can try.
plans will have to be made to
Yes.
speed through the Empire, gathering allies, or follow the advice of the Grand Magus and go back into the broken land, search of the tower. For my
To make what she wants us to, but she makes a good point.
Yes.
In the
Even if
meantime,
that makes.
keep on weaving.
Yeah, weaving, keep on. Yeah,
Weaving.
great, wonderful, love ya,
I don't know.
thanks.
I